very warm welcome to Listeners Abound. This is vk3sl and we're ready for another test transmission on 160 and on UHF. And a big day today, so it's going to take me a little while to settle into the chair. Had lots of happenings today. But that's all okay because we have a long weekend and time to sort of recalibrate and all of that. So, we've got our channel open and I'm ready to rip and just sort of relax into some nostalgia. So, hoping all is well with the Listeners Abound. All right, well, we're ready for Frank if he's up and about. I'm not sure. I haven't been in touch with Frank this week. It's been so busy. Concerts and I had to get up at 5 a.m. this morning and get to work early because my string quartet was playing. Special breakfast was all happening pre-dawn. So I'm sort of on the extended throttle at the moment. Okay, well, we'll have our 20s hit. We've got a few interesting topics to explore today, but we'll let that all unfold in due course. And to kick off, as always, we have from the Fox Movietone Follies of 1929. In fact, a lot of the Fox films are lost from that period because of a big vault fire in the 30s. But I'm not sure about the Movietone Follies of 1929. I can look it up. But this record comes from that film. It's a track called That's You Baby. And it features Alfonso Trent and his orchestra on an Australian-pressed Angelus Electrobeam 78. They loved using variations on the electric theme to make them sound official. That's what they used to do. Anyhow, we're almost ready. I'm just giving this turntable a bit of TLC. It's a bit slow off the mark, but so am I.
Who's the little honey, that's you, baby. Take a blushing rosy and the cutest nosy. Who's the little rosy, that's you, baby. You are perfection, a truity. After inspection, I can see you for me. Take a bashful baby and a little maybe. Who's the little baby, that's you.
we go. From a lost film, I've just established the fact. It was came out 1929, called The Fox Movie Tone Follies of 1929. I can tell you all about it. It's a pre-code musical, and it was lost in a big vault fire in 1937. What can I tell you? Lavishly produced film, featured colour sequences and multicolour process in some of the review scenes. That was often the case. They'd have sort of select colour sequences. The film had multicolour sequences in its original release, as well as being filmed in the experimental grandeur widescreen process. Wow. Yeah, all known prints were destroyed in fires in the Fox storage facility in New Jersey in 1937. What a pity. And some audio elements still survive. Okay, from the movie tone sound on disc audio for reels 6 and 7 still survive, giving a record of dialogue and music taken directly from the movie. Okay, interesting. Yes, it also mentions that numerous songs from the film are recorded for record release, and that's what we've just heard. But an example, we can play the other side since we've sort of addressed the topic. Fox Movie Tone Follies of 1929. They made one in 1930 as well, and I think it's lost. A lot of Fox films were lost in that big vault fire. It was devastating, absolute travesty. Well, here we go. There's a high-pitched whistle throughout that. I'm not sure what's going on. Something's modulating, I think, but we'll give it a whirl. This side is called Walking with Susie.
I'm a strutter when I'm walking with Susie. I'm never knowing where I'm going when I'm walking with Susie. She leads me, she feeds me beauty and charm. I'm woozy when Susie's holding my arm. My heart is bumping and it's thumping when I'm walking with Susie. I hit the ceiling, what a feeling when I'm walking with Susie. Although I'm choosy, Susie will do. I'm getting sappy, I'm so happy when I'm walking with Susie.
Alfonso Trent and his orchestra there from 1929, from the lost Fox Movie Tone Follies of 1929. And yeah, we just mentioned the Fox Fire. It's really interesting to contemplate the scenario there with nitrate film being stored in these big vaults, and of course nitrate can burn underwater, I think. But anyhow, that's the story there. I'll persevere. We haven't got Frank around at the stage. I reckon he might be a busy person tonight. I haven't touched base with Frank, but yeah, he's welcome to pop up. Anyone's welcome to pop up. Just drop me an email, vk3sl at hotmail.com. What do we have next? This is another film from the movies. A very early talkie, in fact. The Singing Fool with Al Jolson. Don't play a lot of Al Jolson. Not really into Al Jolson. But I'll play this because it's quite hot, but it's got a bite out of it. So we'll have to sort of make this work with a little bit of displacement. Anyhow, this is one of the hotter numbers he did, actually. I do like this record. So, from 1927, a Vitaphone, not a Vitatone. There you go. I'm just queuing this up now because it's a bit of a tricky one to cue. I think we're right. I think we're ready to go. What I'll do is kick it off and then fade it in because we've got the bite. We don't want a sort of a slow start. So here we go. We're now in motion. The record's up to speed, and all we have to do is advance the fader.
Folks everywhere, I know that she loves me. So what do I care? There's a rainbow around my shoulder and a sky of blue above. Oh, the sun shines bright, the world's alright, 'cause I'm in love. There's a rainbow around my shoulder and it fits me like a glove. Let it blow and storm, I'll be warm 'cause I'm in love. Hallelujah, how the folk will stare when they see that great big solitaire that my little sugar baby is going away. There's a rainbow around my shoulder and a sky of blue above, and I'm shouting so the world will know that I'm in love.
Yeah, very scratched up recording there of The Rainbow Around My Shoulder. That was a big hit for Al Jolson. He had really put him on the map, and Sonny Boy was the other side of that. And I quite like it because he's sort of on fire, and I like that last chorus when he goes, "Get hot, sing it now," he says. And they kick off with the last chorus. Bit of a spurious character, Mr. Jolson, but look, that's okay. We can enjoy his music and not have to reflect on personality types. It's not really relevant, is it? Okay, speaking of Al Jolson, Jewish performers from that era, one of my favourites is Eddie Cantor. I really like Eddie Cantor's films from the late 20s, although they're very non-PC these days, and they're full of pre-code inferences. They're pretty outrageous. They're worth having a look at. I don't think they're even online, but we used to show them regularly at our movie nights with disclaimers. But I love his raw energy, Eddie Cantor, and he was a great humanitarian, and there are lots of aspects to his personality and his delivery which resonates, so he gets the full ticket. let's have a listen to a jazzy recording made with Frank Durante's Georgians. That was a band that recorded pretty early on, very hot. And I think Red Nichols played with them for a while. Not sure exactly who the lineup is. This is from 1925. I think it's actually acoustic, 24 or 25. So quite a young Eddie Cantor, and but I listened to this on the way to work the other day, and my goodness me, it is hot as. 1924 is the date, I've established the fact, but the name of the track is called O.G. Georgie, Eddie Cantor with the Georgians.
Is a guy who is very bashful and so shy. The ladies prize him, they idolize him. You can find him most anywhere in a great big cozy Morris chair, idly looking at the ceiling while some girlie is appealing. Oh, gee, Georgie, whenever I'm with you. Oh, gee, Georgie, I don't know what to do. You never tease or hug or squeeze like Johnny or Joe. You look at me and then, oh gee, I get so, I don't know. Oh gee, Georgie, what can it be? When you're around I get so excited. You're not handsome like a statue, but each time that I look at you, oh gee, Georgie, oh gee. Oh gee, Georgie. Oh gee, Georgie. Whenever I'm with you. Oh, gee, Georgie, I don't know what to do. You talk to me of poetry and music and art, but you're not here for that, my dear. I wish you'd start. Have a heart? Oh, gee, Georgie, what can it be? When you're around, I get so excited. When you're near me, how you thrill me. You've either got to kiss or kill me. Oh, gee, Georgie, oh, gee. Oh, gee, Georgie, what can it be? When you're around, I am so delighted. My head should be just where your chest is. Kiss me, hot lips, I'm asbestos. Oh, gee, Georgie, oh, gee.
Oh, the inimitable Eddie Cantor, and a recording with the Georgians, a very hot recording from 1924.
Good afternoon.
Hello to you, Frank. How are you? From Frank Durante to Frank Nolan. What's that?
Everything's good, but we've had a lot going on here.
Oh, okay.
We've got our one son and our older granddaughter living with us at the moment.
Oh, I see. Right.
So
Okay.
things are a little bit up in the air.
Oh, my goodness, I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's just that they're moving into a new house and they've had the floor polished. And
Oh, I see.
one of the girls has gone to us and the other
Yes.
to the maternal grandmother.
I see. Yes, I understand. All right, so busy time. Right, well, is it easy for you to be around, or is it...
I'm probably out of action.
yes.
The Were you thinking of later on tonight?
Well, I was thinking of possibly doing a program, very short program tonight. But sure, if you're busy, that's absolutely fine.
I should be right by then.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe we can catch up later on. Maybe we can catch up tonight if that's easier for you.
I think that's the go. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, totally fine.
On top of all of that, I've got a new iPhone, but in the process, I've lost a lot of my phone contacts, including yours.
Okay, that's all right. I'll give you a ring at some
Thank
stage.
you, yes, that'd be good.
And then we can touch base. Look, absolutely fine. There's no problem. While you're there, I'll just quickly...
Sure, no, I'm right. I've got a few minutes.
Yeah, sure. I'll just outline the modus operandi for the weekend, because I'm going on a bushwalk tomorrow and an overnight walk, so I'll be out for leaving tomorrow morning. I think we'll be back on Sunday, though. It's just a one-nighter.
Sure.
And going into the Central Highlands, and I love those old tramway walks. They're full of history, and it's beautiful country, and you get some lovely mountain ash forests, and it's magnificent, really.
That sounds wonderful. It'll be certainly a more congenial weather, I imagine.
Yes, it'll be about 10 degrees cooler than it is here.
Yeah.
And it's gorgeous country, and we'll just be camping out in the bush, and then heading home on Sunday. So should be around for Sunday afternoon program. And tonight, of course, just a short one tonight because we are leaving at about 8 tomorrow morning.
Sure. I need to tell you about a birthday.
Oh,
very significant.
really?
You wouldn't want to overlook.
Oh, no. Tell me. Who's this?
Today, Ravel's 150th.
Oh, my goodness me. Ravel 150. Oh, we listen to so much Ravel in this household. We have a Ravel fanatic living under this roof.
Now, let me tell you some other musical news.
Yes, please do.
My friend Harold Fabricant, is having a recital on the 5th of April.
5th of April?
And including 90% Bach.
Oh.
He's going to play their lovely Fantasia and Fugue.
Oh, is he really? Oh, how about that? Oh, he should have a roving microphone, Frank.
He says he's going to try and play it. He's always very self-deprecating.
Oh, look, that's marvellous. What a spirit. That's just marvellous. How about that? Oh,
it is.
Wow. That warms my heart to hear that. That's really, really good. We'll look forward to a report on the concert.
Oh, yeah.
And, that's tremendous. One day I'd love to meet him. I think he sounds like really interesting.
If that can happen, yeah.
Yeah, sometime. It would be most interesting. I'd love to. And, yay, that's great. Marvellous stuff. All right, well, we'll catch up later on. And I've got all this really interesting... I'm in sort of manic collecting. I go through manic sort of stages, as you know, hypomania, all of that. And I've been picking up a lot of recordings. And from a collector in South Australia, I got a huge pile of music from, I think it's from Latvia. It's either...
I better drop.
Yeah.
Let me just one more quick bit of news that will interest you.
Yes.
At the U3A this afternoon,
Yeah.
I met a new guy.
Yeah.
Who introduced himself. He's Ziggy.
Yeah.
And he's a violinist from Austria.
Ooh.
And has played in symphony orchestras.
Oh, marvellous.
We didn't have time to go into that, but...
well, there you go.
And he tends to favour Schubert as his...
Oh, very good. That's marvellous. How about that?
I've had a great day.
Oh, that's really good. I want to hear more about this. Let's chat further tonight, Frank. We'll look forward to it at 11 o'clock. And I'll probably just make it an hour, but we'll hear that. And
perfect for me, Steve.
Yeah.
I've had a big day.
Yeah, sure.
I'm loving it. It's lovely having Emily here.
Yes, of course
and
it is.
Patrick. And at
the
moment we're going to go and watch the end of Matilda.
Oh, my goodness, that's great. That sounds like a lot of fun. Well, you enjoy that. Have a lovely afternoon, and we'll look forward to catching up as we do 11 o'clock tonight, and we'll hear more. And we'll have to play some Ravel.
That's right. Okay, Steve.
That's
all
marvelous.
the best, and cheers to the listeners from VK3JR temporarily.
No worries at all, Frank. That's all good. And just a reminder that yes, no missions tomorrow, but late night tonight we will do our usual thing, and and back on board on Sunday. All right, so where were we? We're listening to Eddie Cantor with the Georgians. I like this band. They are very energised, and I just can't remember exact personnel. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to do my due due diligence while we hear some more. And so let's go with the other side of that record, and it's on an early Columbia. It's 1924, and it's called "What Do You If You Do What You Do." So more Eddie Cantor, and great spirit, fabulous energy, and yes, nothing beats 20s hits. I'm vk3sl testing.
Don't need rings, don't need clothes, don't need money, goodness knows. All I need is loving of the first class A. You can't imagine how you rave, how you brag. All day long you chew the rag about the way that you can love and kiss. Honey, lend your ear to this. Oh, if you do what you do, half as good as you say you do, you better start in your kissing, 'cause that's what I've been missing. Oh, believe me, if you are what you are, that's if you're what you say you are. You can bet your life I'm never gonna let you go. I'm blue and all alone, and only love can cure me. I must be shown, 'cause I'm from Missouri. No, honey, if you do what you do, half as good as you say you do, I'll tell you what you better do. You better start in loving me now. The girlie I adore don't have to have much knowledge, 'cause I can teach her more than she could learn at college. So, honey, if you do what you do, half as good as you say you do, I'll tell you what you better do. You better start in loving me now.
How about that? Eddie Cantor with the Georgians. It's a Frank Durante outfit. Actually, it's a Paul Sprecht outfit, but Frank Durante was a trumpet player. Let's see his details. Yes, he American trumpeter with Italian heritage, and he made lots of records in the 20s, but he sort of really embraced that sort of very that jazz idiom and all of the syncopation, and his band's always had a lot of energy. A number of great musicians sort of went through his outfit over the years, made heaps and heaps of records. I might even found another one. Let's see if we can find some more. Frank Durante. They're always good, these Georgians. And hearing, I think they're the only two recordings with Eddie Cantor, which we just heard, but they're pretty early. That's 1924. But if we move forward a little bit, we can have a listen to I'm Sitting Pretty in a Pretty Little City. This is a good track. Oh, yeah, this is the Georgians of 1926 on a Columbia. They had a contract with Columbia, so you usually find them on that label. But what do you reckon? This is worth a play. Okay, there we go. That was I'm Sitting Pretty in a Pretty Little City. And you heard the Georgians. That's actually 1923. It's acoustic, of course. I think their sort of most celebrated recordings are all acoustic. There's a few later ones. I think they called themselves the New Georgians in the later incarnation, but we'll leave that for another day. Play some of this early stuff. It's quite good. I love the raw energy of Frank Durante and his ensemble. Let's hear another one. It's here. From 1922, Chicago, that toddlin' town. Yeah, this is another recording from the same time. This is actually earlier, 1922, December 1922. So going way back, and you can hear that he's really embracing the raw energy of the jazz pioneers. It's sort of very much in his DNA, and you get that driving force and compelling sort of force of nature, that's what I call it. All right, let's have a listen to Chicago, long before the musical Chicago came about. But Chicago, that toddlin' town. I'm vk3sl, testing, waiting. And yes, you know what I mean. Takes a while. Yay for the full comedic effect. That was an early version of Chicago, played by the Frank Durante Orchestra, the Georgians. They did European tours and they did all sorts of things. There's a big story there. And we might have lost a bit of power. Oh, I wonder. Let me have a look at our systems here. I might have to go and investigate. No, it looks like we're putting out full power. I reckon our monitoring, our current monitoring, is doing something a bit untoward. Okay, antenna current looks like it's down, but I reckon it's monitoring because it sort of looks like it's doing it, the right thing. But and I'm looking on the SDR, and it looks like we've got a full signal. Yes, we've got a full signal on the SDR, and I reckon. And let's have a look at the mod monitor. Yeah, module. Oh no, carrier is down. So maybe we have got a problem. All right, I'm going to go and check it. All right, so here we go. Chicago. I'll play another while I'm going and sort of ascertaining things. I'll play another recording of the Georgians a little bit later. This is one I do play often. I've got 2 copies of this record in the collection. I know I do because I play them regularly, but I can never find them when I need to, so you just look it up, you know what I mean. But it's a great record, actually, because there is not only does Frank Durante sort of lead the ensemble with his brash forward momentum, but it also has some really good trombone breaks from Al Philborn, who was a great early trombonist who just has got a fabulous sense of style but made almost no records or solo records. So here we go. Horses, 1926.
10 to 1 on spark plug. 20 to 10 on 4. Bet. They're all. Nutty over horses, horses, horses. Goofy over horses, horses. She's a little wild. Daffy over horses, horses, horses. Silly over horses, horses. Once I heard her call me Sparkplug, brown eyes too. Guess she thinks I'm a horses. Bonnie Google at the altar, altar, altar. Maybe she will falter, falter, falter. Then I'll get a halter, 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 just to make her mine. A woman's no means yes, I guess. A horse's nay is a horse's yes. Oh, it's horses, horses, just a lot of horses, horses all the time.
that early Columbia sound. They sound so clean, those records. Amazing. I've got Full Power restored. How is it looking? Looking okay, but I reckon my signal generator is a bit tired. It's not enjoying the hot weather. I wonder how well the fans work. Yeah, listening to recordings from Frank Durante's Georgians. A few of them here. I'm sort of moving into the electric era. I wasn't planning to do that, but we'll play one more. Then we'll change direction, perhaps. See how we go. I do need to keep checking systems, so I'm not too much focus on the program material, but we can easily follow on and play more Georgians. Here it is. Spring is here. 1926, a golden year for 20 years hits.
They hold hands and spoon it till it's dark. When the mustard bites the hot dogs and they all begin to bark, then you'll know that spring is here.
Sorry, folks, I can't get enough of this. That's the Georgians, 1926. How about that trombone solo by Al Filborn towards the end? He was on fire. Amazing. Oh, really entranced. I want to hear some more. Here we go. I know I said I'd finish, but I will play one more. Just one. This is called Hard to Get Gertie. And it's a Californ record. I don't know this one. I've never heard it, and it's popped up on my feed. Someone's listening, and we'll hear this. More of the Georgians from that year, 1926.
everybody smiles. She's got those kisses that are sweet, sweet and honey. They're hard as it is and something funny, something funny. Let me tell me, says yes, mama, I have him a seat. Just a down, just a song. She said that, but she goes wrong. It's hard to get dirty, and don't hard to get down.
Okay, a rare colophone record there up online, and Hard to Get Gertie. We heard Frank Durante's world-known Georgians. They'd just done a big tour and made themselves known worldwide. I was sort of wondering what happened to him. He died in the 40s, but I don't really hear of him beyond the 20s. Can we just check and find out? Let's see what happened to Frank Durante. I think he just sort of probably became a bit passé. It didn't adapt with the times. Yes, says 1937, ill health forced him to stop performing. But he did perform on, he joined Victor Young's band in 1930 and remaining there until 1936. And he also played with Jimmy Dorsey, Tommy Dorsey, Jack Teagarden, Bing Crosby and the Boswell Sisters on record and radio. Oh, there we go. So he sort of did a bit, but he had to retire fairly early on. When was he born? In the 1890s. He's got a really penetrating tone and a very busy player. I think that probably worked against him as jazz became more expansive. But yeah, he worked also with the Savoy Fiends in the 20s. So he went to England for a bit and worked with Bert Furman as well. That's interesting. Well, I'll look out for more Frank Durante records. That's all interesting material as far as I'm concerned. And we're testing, of course, on 160 and on UHF and also streaming online. So if you want to check in with the YouTube site, there's quite an archive of radio programs with Frank as well. And Frank's busy man this afternoon, but we'll catch up with him later on for our late night missions. All right, one of the sort of projects of late is to play cylinders on air. I got myself a 1905 Edison standard cylinder player, especially for the job. So I've been working on this machine. I want to sort of give it a bit of a cosmetic spruce and take it out and about and use it for demonstrations for young people. I showed a huge group of young people. As one of the orchestras I conduct has 85 young people. And I took in a cylinder and showed them the other day, but I promised them I'd play it for them if they will practice. Well, we'll get to that hopefully in the next few months. So I might see if this machine's up to being transported. But in the interim, we use it for our direct on-air cylinder playback. Now, I've also been finding a number of blue Amberol Edison cylinders from the 1910 era, about 1912 thereabouts. That's when the Amberols were sort of really in mass production. And some of them are very good, some are far less so. But it's a bit of a process to play them back electrically for the uninitiated. And I'm just doing it in a very ad hoc fashion, just using a long tone arm and skewing or positioning the cylinder player and just playing it back. If you go to my YouTube site, you'll see me doing this. There's actually a little video demonstrating the process, and this is a late venture. So we've got the Hula Hula medley, and it's a two-step, and I think it's played by one of the Anderson bands, but we'll see if we can make this work. I've just got to check in with our system here. Getting a lot of noise, getting a lot of... I think I have to turn this right down. That might work better. I'm still getting some... this is not good. Hello, 1 2 1 2. Let's see what's going on here. Maybe it's just the way I've got this cartridge initiated. We can try, give it a go. I'll put it on. I think we're getting a little bit of feedback. We're not quite in sync, but we can try it. Trying systems here as we do. Let's see if this works. It's a buyer. Yes. Okay, folks, this is work in progress. I'm going to persevere with this. I think the problem is this cylinder is, see, I don't try things out first. That's my problem. And it's slightly off round. They've got plaster of Paris inside the inner core, and if they're slightly off round, they don't track properly. That's the problem. Unless the tracking is absolutely everything is very finely calibrated, and even then it's a bit of a risky business. But I'm prepared to persevere because I enjoy the program material. Let's see if it's a bit better now. Yeah, it's not doing too well. I might jump ahead a bit. They're 4 minutes long, so we can we'll move it along a little bit, see if it's a bit better here. Yeah, getting massive vibrations, and I think it's to do with the fact that this cylinder record is slightly off round. So we'll have to dispense because the quals are so good. It's just a pity we don't have quite a workable situation. This is the problem when testing these things. That would work really well with a standard reproducer. It's just the electric system that I'm employing is a bit variable and doesn't easily track them unless it's been properly calibrated, which I'm not prepared to do. Right, I'll pick another one out of the bag. Let's have a look. This one is So Polka. Well, we'll give it a go. These are Ambrols from the 1912 period. Heaps of them. This one seems to fit quite snugly onto the mandrel. We'll give it its kickstart. Try another one. Hopefully we'll have a more successful play with the So Polka. I don't know who the band is. It's probably one of the Marines bands. They tend to get a fairly good representation. This one looks like it's tracking a lot better. Fingers crossed. Folks, we almost got there. We got to the last couple of seconds. What I can do, I can't actually square this up. There we go. This might work better. Okay. All right. Yeah, I get the message. We almost got to the end. Yes, it's all about placement. We've got to get the system refined. It's work in progress, but we got within about 20 seconds at the end of the piece, and they go for 4 minutes. That was the So-So Polka on an Amberol cylinder. And this is one of my aims. So I'm sort of into old technology, and there's something quite enchanting about playing old recordings directly to air. It's a sort of bit of a fantasy, really, but I quite enjoy it. Let's go. Let's find another one. Now I know that the relationship between the arm to the mandrel is, we've made a couple of seasonal adjustments. I'll try another. This one is a recording of, what does it say? Sounds from the Operas, Waltzes by the NP Band. Early Ambrols, they're the best. The later Ambrols were pantographically transcribed from Edison Diamond discs, and so they're acoustically coupled, and they sound terrible. So yeah, you've got to get the right ones. But this one should work. Looks like I've got clearance. All right, we made a few little changes. I wound the thing up. Let's see if we've got enough wind in the spring. It looks good. Let's see. Let's try it out. So forgive me if we have any issues, but you know, it's all in the name of the game. I'm vk3sl. Okay, we made it, folks. We made it. Got to the end. I noticed the cartridge is quite it's not true. That's all right. We can make do. We can work on this. It's an evolving concept, and it's something I'd like to do a lot more. I've got lots of cylinders, and it's just fun to play. Something's rather special about using an ancient machine coupled with modern technology, and I'm playing it through a noise reduction system as well, and it's being equalised, all of that, and it sort of comes up all right. It's quite presentable. They've got quite a good signal-to-noise cylinders, so I know they can be magnificently transferred, but this is not pretending to be such. It's just an experiment in situ, and that's sort of what I like to do. Okay, 78s, big pile of Eastern European records. I cannot read the labels. They look like they might be from Latvia, but they also got CCCP on them, so they might have some sort of Russian connection. But it's all folk music, it's stacks of it. And I really celebrate this music. It's got true sort of those wonderful Eastern European Byzantine spirit that sort of goes back hundreds of generations, all those modes. But folk music a blom. I'll try and pick out a few decent ones to play tonight, but I'll just feature a few as a bit of a teaser. So let's check in. I'm not even going to try to announce it. It's no point. It's music of a particular ilk, and I think it'll be quite apparent once we begin. So here we have one of them on the table, recorded in the 1940s or 50s. Oh, I was hoping for another chorus. Finished rather abruptly. Yeah, that folk tradition is so full of verve. Let's hear side B. And Rigas Spaniu Placu Fabrik. Okay. I can't provide any more information because it's all in Sudic script or Eastern European script. But it's all good fun. And you're right, that record is slightly off-centre. The quality control on these is not brilliant, but the material is fascinating because that was very solemn, very powerful. Yeah, there's a lot more of that material, and we'll discover it in due course. We'll play a bit more tonight, amongst other things. I've got some Mozart I want to play tonight. A few other things as well. So we'll have our late night program, but it won't be very long because I'm off bushwalking on Saturday and won't be back until Sunday afternoon. So hopefully a program with a story on Sunday. That's the plan anyhow. So thanks folks. I'm going to wind. I'll play something a little bit so now for something completely different. A 1956 educational film about the process of making vinyl records. It's a jam handy picture presented by RCA Victor. So it tells the story, gives us the picture, explains the process, and it's quite interesting. It's one of those Periscope film archive uploads. So thanks folks for your indulgence. Thank you for listening in, and I appreciate your company, and we look forward to more missions tonight on vk3sl. Until soon. Bit of a lead in, folks. The woman has just unwrapped her new record of Romeo and Juliet and is about to place it on the turntable. She's rapturously looking at this vinyl disc, takes that out of its cover and places it on the platter. Ever so carefully. Puts the little stabilizer on the record, and with a little click, the record drops onto the platter and the needle falls into the groove. History is made. The Sound and the Story is the name of this film.
As recorded in new orthophonic, high-fidelity sound by Charles Munch and the Boston Symphony Orchestra, Tchaikovsky's Romeo and Juliet plays about 19 minutes. Its production required the varied skills and talents of some 375 people and some 3,000 man-hours of work. Let's see how some of those hours were spent to bring you the music you want when you want it. First stop, Symphony Hall, Boston, Massachusetts. To begin with, a new orthophonic high-fidelity recording is not just the mechanical reproduction of a concert performance. It's the art of creating the effect of a concert performance. There are many stops and starts, many takes and retakes. That's because the end object is a planned illusion. The illusion, as you ultimately hear the music played back through your phonograph, that you have the best seat in the concert hall. How do they do it? Well, the recording music director or any one of the sound engineers could easily explain it all in 10 weeks. But let's just take a look at 3 of the fundamental requirements of high-fidelity recording. The first is full dynamic range. That's the spread between the softest and loudest passages in the music. In a concert performance, the range is as wide as the conductor feels the score indicates. These meters on the recording console indicate the volume of sound coming from the orchestra onto the magnetic tape. In the old days, home phonographs could not reproduce either full loud passages or very soft passages. So they were literally kept off the record right here by sound monitoring. But it wasn't a faithful reproduction of the actual performance, such as you get with today's high-fidelity recording techniques. Today, as it should be, the conductor and his musicians control all of the dynamics, including all of the natural shadings, just as they do in a concert. And after the recording begins, the engineer never touches the controls. The full dynamic power of the orchestra is faithfully transferred to the recording tape. The second requirement is somewhat similar, achieving natural balance between all instruments and sections of the orchestra. This can only be achieved by precise microphone placement, and this varies amazingly with the music, the particular artists, the hall itself, even climatic conditions. It is never the same from one recording session to another. Again, an easy solution might be found here by the arbitrary placement and control of many microphones. But again, it wouldn't be natural or faithful reproduction. Today, the engineers record the orchestra as a complete unit. The third important requirement in a high-fidelity recording is frequency range, capturing high notes as well as low. This is actually accomplished before the session begins. All it takes is recording equipment of enormous cost and capacity, such as this recording console. It faithfully handles all sounds audible to the human ear. The entire frequency spectrum from 20 to 20,000 cycles per second. And with less than 0.2% distortion, it transfers them to the swiftly spinning magnetic tape. A new challenge here is stereophonic recording. This requires dual mics, dual-track tape machines, and a stereophonic mixer. But for those who have the equipment, it also permits two-system or stereophonic playback in the home. There are other high-fidelity requirements, such as presence, definition, clarity. But with time and patience and enough retakes, they get on the record too. Eventually, there is a playback that everyone recognizes as the image they were seeking, both artistically and acoustically. They have a truly faithful recording of Romeo and Juliet. And we are one step closer to having it in our homes. Next stop, New York City, and the precise engineering business of transferring the recorded sound from tape to a disc called the lacquer master. This disc is the grandfather of the records to come later. Let's look at the steps in the cutting of our lacquer master. Most of the sound factors are already known. The speed of the tape in recording, its playing time, and the sound level required. These factors must be considered for both 45 RPM and long play lacquer masters. A special lacquer master disc is closely inspected. For the 12-inch long play record, the master is 16 inches in diameter. For 45 extended play records, the master is 12 inches in diameter. In both cases, the extra width allows plenty of working room in cutting. Besides a spindle for centering, the turntable has a number of holes. Through these holes, air suction holds the lacquer disc down tightly, so it is perfectly flat on the turntable. The playing time of the music determines the number of grooves per inch that will be cut into the record. The sound dynamics of the music determine how far apart the grooves must be. Loud passages need more space between grooves. Soft passages need less. The cutting machine automatically spaces the music grooves according to the sound signal it's receiving. Now, a test cut to determine the groove width. The groove width must be exact, so exact that it is carefully checked through a microscope. Everything's set, and a coarse pitch lead-in groove is cut to the music area. The tape machine is started, and exactly 1.5 turns before the music begins, the cutting head automatically changes from the lead-in groove to fine-pitch music grooves. The cutting stylus is a minute piece of sapphire, perfectly ground and electrically heated, so there is virtually no resistance as it cuts into the smooth lacquer. During the cutting operation, a constant watch is kept on the groove width to make sure it never varies from the prescribed setting. It all sounds so simple when you're just skimming the surface. Actually, of course, it's a painstaking and delicate operation. But in time, you have a perfect lacquer master. The original tape goes into the vault for safekeeping, to take its place forever alongside many other priceless performances by the world's greatest artists. All the artistry of the Romeo and Juliet performance is being carefully preserved. And we're another step closer to having that performance in our own living rooms. Next stop, Indianapolis, Indiana. One of 3 processing plants to which our lacquer master might go. We start in production control. Here, every lacquer master is assigned a shadow, a special business machine card. From now on, this card can lead you straight to our particular recording, no matter where it might be in processing. The processing is identical for long play and 45 RPM records. First, the grooves in the lacquer master are carefully rechecked through a microscope. They have to be perfect. Now we proceed to make metal copies from the lacquer master. The first step, silvering. This takes precisely 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And the lacquer master comes out with a new face. Now, by patient electroplating, we add a series of metallic deposits, one behind the other. First, a fine-grained deposit of nickel. This makes smooth-walled grooves and a quieter surface. Next, a thin deposit of copper over the nickel. A nice, smooth salmon pink. Now, a whirling bath in another tank. A much heavier buildup of copper. We'll see why in a moment. We now have a master disc that is apparently all back and no front. But watch. Now we have 2 fronts and 2 masters. The original lacquer master is on the left. A new silver-faced master is on the right. But this is the point where most people long for a road map. Let's make one. We started with the lacquer master. To the face of it, we added first silver, then nickel, then copper, and finally, a lot more copper. Then we separate the lacquer from the metal. Now we have both our original lacquer master and a new silver-faced or metal master. The grooves in the lacquer master make it a positive. It can be played. The matching ridges on the metal master make it a negative. It cannot be played. We continue work with the metal master, repeating the gradual metal buildup to make another part. Then, another separation. The metal master is at the left, and the new part, called a mold, is at the right. we have progressed from the original positive to a negative to another positive. The metal master normally goes back immediately to build up another mold, but that depends on the next important step. The mold can be played, so it is promptly readied for a sound test. The mold is thoroughly cleaned to prevent damage in the test play. In any Name That Tune contest, put your money on a record tester. 8 hours a day, and all kinds of music. She loves it. More important, she is an expert at hearing the slightest imperfection on a record surface. And should she find any, a new lacquer master from the original tape is immediately ordered from New York. After audio testing, the mold goes back to the plating tanks. It produces the most important new metal part, the stamper. This completes the cycle. Lacquer to master, master to mold, mold to stamper. The metal buildup to the stamper is exactly the same, except for one thing. The stamper is nearly all pure hard nickel. Its ridges press the playing grooves into the finished record. Now it's prepared for stamping. Ground perfectly smooth on the back. Optically center punched for the record press. Trimmed to exact diameter. And coined, given a formed edge to grasp the stamping die securely. The record press is a complicated piece of equipment weighing 2 tons. It molds records by compression. Our stamper is mounted on the top die. Below it, another stamper simultaneously presses the other side of the record. The record compound, the finest pure vinyl obtainable, is fed into the press in granular form. It is forced by hydraulic pressure into a soft plastic in just the right amount for one record. The labels are pressed right into the record. Now we're ready to roll. It has taken many steps and many man-hours to get here. But a new record is stamped every few seconds. The record press automatically heats the vinyl plastic for stamping, then automatically cools it, so the record can be played immediately. And here's the first long play copy of Romeo and Juliet. A collector's item? No. The first pressing is always carefully inspected for everything from the correct serial number to perfect centering. Then, still another playback test. And finally, the pressing of the Romeo and Juliet gets going in earnest. And for those who prefer the 45 extended play version, and for the millions of teenagers anxiously awaiting the latest pop hit, an ingenious machine turns them out automatically. It places its own labels, feeds itself the vinyl compound, removes its own records, and stacks them already trimmed. And for the fast-growing legions of tape enthusiasts, equally ingenious machines turn out duplicate copies at 4 times the playback speed to save time, and backwards to save rewinding. And no matter what your taste or preference in music, in the packaging area you discover unlimited variety, the finest in sound and performance. Children's albums, the unusual, show tunes, or country music. Pop hits and jazz classics. Dance and party music. Mood music. Grand opera. Vocal or instrumental solos, symphonic or other classical masterpieces. The world's greatest artists are at your service. It's a big operation, but no matter what type of music you prefer, or whether you want it on 45 extended play or 33 1/3 long play, every record is made with the same care and to the same high fidelity standards. And the Romeo and Juliet, getting closer to home all the time. A final inspection. Every record is carefully checked by experienced packers who know almost at a glance if the record is up to standard. In its own distinctive sleeve, another new orthophonic high-fidelity recording, finally ready for shipment. A new mechanical shipping technique helps to speed it on its way. Here, in the shipping control room, special machines keep track of the 250,000 new records made here every day. Which records go where, when, in what quantities? The cards tell you. The Romeo and Juliet recording goes out in both 45 extended play and long play versions. The sorting machine divides the Romeo and Juliet shipping instructions into these two categories. Now the shippers take over. Both versions are shipped in the same way, in cartons of 25 records. But let's follow the cartons of 45 extended play albums. As they're picked from the storage bins, the cartons are placed on a unique distribution rack invented here. From now on, one girl keeps everything running smoothly. As each order is filled according to the punch card instructions, she changes the setting on an automatic addressing machine. And the equipment does the rest. The code number and address of the record distributor for this order is automatically stamped on each carton. Then the cartons pass through another machine, where they are bundled together in groups of 4. And away they go to the accumulation area down below on another floor. Here, the cartons are accumulated for shipment to distributors and record dealers in all parts of the country. These long play albums have been through the same shipping process as the 45s. And now both versions are on the home stretch. Hundreds of identical and faithful copies of one high-fidelity recording. Tchaikovsky's Romeo and Juliet. Tchaikovsky's Romeo and Juliet. It's traveled a long way for an illusion. The last stop, home, and the best seat in the concert hall.
How about that? That was rather special, hearing the manufacture and recording of Romeo and Juliet by Tchaikovsky. Well, I think it might be good to play the original after hearing that. Let's have a listen to the record in question. Let this ride for another 20 minutes or so. I'm vk3sl in Rapture.
Yes, it was rather entertaining.
Yes, it was very interesting.
I should say.
Yes, indeed it was. Yeah. It's quite the video is fascinating. I've been sort of entranced by that. It's been really interesting. Yeah, so that's up online. But made in about 1957. So quite a process. 350 people. You wouldn't think it involved in every step of the process. Yeah, how you been?
Not too bad. I'm going to go shortly. I'm going to make a phone call before 7 o'clock.
Yeah, sure. No worries. Well,
I presume none of the APV collection was played today?
Not any of that collection.
That's all right then. I haven't missed anything.
No,
I've only been listening for the last half an hour.
No, that's okay. I might play a couple tonight, a couple of excerpts tonight, and but will be a short program tonight. But and it won't be on tomorrow. But perhaps on Sunday we'll.
And the co-host's not around either.
Yes, Frank's busy with his family today, so yeah, we'll catch up with him. Later on. He'll be around for the late night program.
A lot of people going away this weekend.
Well, that's
anyway,
right.
The long weekend.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be out tomorrow, camping overnight in the Central Highlands, going on a bushwalk. So looking forward to that. So,
you set up Newgie Way, didn't you?
That's it.
Night?
Yeah, we'll head up to just between near Powelltown somewhere.
You've got that waterfall.
Okay.
That you keep going past Newgie and you turn left.
Mm-hmm.
Down a road and becomes a dirt road, and I've forgotten the name of the springs.
Okay.
And there's a waterfall there.
Oh, sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
I might go and check it out.
I'll send it to you, and I'll find it.
Yeah, sure. I probably have seen it before, but look, can you please do that? Because that would prompt me, because I've got to go via Newgie on the way home.
Yes.
And so I've got to catch up with someone there. And I might go and visit the waterfall and have a swim. Sounds could be good.
Well, it's a camping area. Then there's a 20-minute walk.
Yep.
Up through the forest to this waterfall area.
Hmm.
And it's not really suitable for swimming.
No. Okay. Oh, fair
enough. They've got a barricade. Usually people climb over the barricade with a cup of water, a cup or a mug, and get some fresh water.
Yeah, sure. No, look, I'll just probably have a look at it. But that sounds nice. Sounds lovely. Yeah, be good to know about that, because it's going to be fairly warm this weekend. But I think there'll be a few people heading out to the Central Highlands, but could be fun. Yeah, all good. Thank you for that. Yeah, send me a link and I'll investigate it for sure.
Yes, I presume that everyone who goes up Newgie knows about it.
Yeah, I probably have visited before. I've been to the Trestle Bridge at Newgie, and
that's on the way in, on the right.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
yes.
But our walk was going to be centred more in the Powelltown.
More out the other way.
Yeah, more out the other way. But I've done quite a few walks in Newgie and Tanjil Bren over the years, and but it's been a long time, and I just can't recall. I'm sure I've seen a waterfall up that way, but it just doesn't register at this point. So
and you used to be able to access the reservoir in Neerim South.
Okay, right.
There's a big reservoir there.
Yeah. Okay.
And you turn left onto that, and most of it's all been fenced off, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's probably catchment or something now, but.
And there's a picnic area, but it used to be opened up. The picnic area used to be opened up where you could actually walk into the reservoir.
Okay. All right. Okay, interesting. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate that. That sounds good. All right. Well, I'll have a story to tell on Sunday afternoon. I should be back by then, and just hoping for a quiet day on Monday. So that's the plan. Well, look, maybe catch up then. I'll play a couple of your records tonight, and perhaps some on Sunday as well. So
yes, I should be around tonight.
Yeah. All right. Well, at 11 o'clock, just for an hour or so, because I have a fairly early start tomorrow. But yeah, it should be good. All right. Nice to catch up with you.
Okay. Speak.
Yeah. Catch you soon. All the best to you. Thanks, Ian. All right, we'll hear some Tchaikovsky, Romeo and Juliet, with Charles Wunsch and the Boston Symphony Orchestra, recorded, it's the recording we've been hearing about. So here it is in true form. I'm vk3sl. music of Tchaikovsky, Romeo and Juliet, and excerpts thereof, and recorded by Charles Munch and the Boston Symphony Orchestra. Thanks, folks, for listening in, and we look forward to your company tonight at 11 p.m. I'm vk3sl. Cheerio.